we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. I see it in the papers, we read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take you for your money, whatever else spring. And I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the land of the new. Oh, na 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 na. Seems to me that I have lost my old friend. Got the sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must go back before it's too late. You're afraid, you're feeling alone. Time and space can never unfold. The holidays can ring in your fear. The ghost embrace can only mean tears. And I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the land of the blue. Oh, na 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 na. Sitting at the lake, I'm feeling confused, but I had my guitar, so I played this blues. But I'm afraid, what might be true, that I might never be back Seems to me that I've lost my friend. Got the sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must be back before it's too late. Before it's too late. Someone to take me down at night. Someone to make my day. New revelation fills my soul. Oh, I can waste away. You distracting my attention. You're all that's on my mind. You not looking for perfection, but you're too hard to find. Now the first night is coming, and I know what to do. You know that nothing feels sweeter than someone else. you. Oh, you. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Where did my color go? Got your head in the sand. You can't be in control using a powerful hand. I wanna be ya, I wanna see ya. Don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. You're gonna push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, hide a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue, yeah. All right. Yeah. Cat learns to ring a bell. Rat gets free from the maze. We can be taught to love. We've got to learn the way. I wanna see you, I wanna be you. Don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. You're gonna push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shadows. Push me to the edge, hide a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue. Yeah. I wanna be, I wanna see, don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. Push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shadows. Push me to the edge, hide a little color, it's black and white and blue. Yeah, black and white and blue. You're gone black and white on the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shadows. Push me to the edge, hide a little Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the lands of the new. Oh, na 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 na. Seems to me that I have lost my friend. Got the sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must go back before it's too late. Feel afraid, feel feeling alone. Time and space can never afford. The holidays can ring in your fear. The ghost embrace can only mean tears. And I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back for lands of new. Oh, na 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 na.
All right, we are here again. Welcome, Ron Breacher, my buddy from Canada. How's it going, my friend?
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for having me here tonight.
This is you. I think tonight you break an AstroWorld record of being the one with the most appearances on AstroWorld. So we got two people that have records. We got Ron Breacher, who has the number of appearances record at 3. And then we have another Canadian buddy of Ron, Sean Nielsen, who was on the marathon show that we had. It was 3 hours and 17 minutes. So Sean's got the longest show, and Ron's got the most appearances. So welcome again, Ron. We love having you.
Canada's taken over.
It's totally taken over. We got. I'm gonna bring it back. We're gonna all get our thinking toques on, and just like what was it? Strange Brew, Great White North, eh? But
Yeah, baby.
but
Really?
everybody's in the chat saying hi. What's up? Sean Nielsen's there. A bunch of the regulars are there. Ernie, Bob, Mark, Charity, Cap 404, which is Steve, Al. We got a bunch of people going on, so it's a lot. It's a lot of fun when we do this on Wednesday night. And in case anybody's wondering, we have more people coming on. It's just not only me and Ron. So people are just. Oh, Jesse just popped in, so let me see if I can get Jesse on real quick. Let me just change this 1 second, and the titles may be a little bit messed up right now. But we'll let's see. We'll put Jesse on. Where are you, Jesse? Jesse's girl. There you go. And we'll do that. And we'll do the 3 up. And let's see. Let me just check the titles first. and I'll do it so Jesse's name is not Peter, and we'll do that, and then we'll do that, and then we have Jesse on. So there we go. Bam.
Am I there?
You are there.
Hello, how are you?
How's
Good
it going?
evening, everyone.
What's that? You made it. There you go. I kind of threw it on Jesse's lap. It's like, Jesse, you want to come on? She's like, I forgot.
I need to set an alarm or some sort of something on my phone just to remind myself, because I'm getting into, I'm like, summer break is in full swing now. So now it's like, what day of the week is it? I kind of love it, but it kind of caught me off guard. So I'm glad you reminded me.
You know what? It's fine. You know, we're gonna get you something. It's gonna be called the Astro Alarm, and
Yes.
it goes on twice a week. It goes on at 8:30 on Wednesdays and 7:30 on Fridays. So you're a little early.
Absolutely.
Dan,
Absolutely.
I can't see Jesse. Is that a setting?
Oh, hold on. No, that's me. Give me 1 second. I forgot to change one thing. Let's see, 44, and I'll change it so you can.
I could hear her.
Yep. Outputs and 44, and now you should be able to see her.
Hey,
Yeah,
there you are.
Hi,
Ron. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Jesse?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
So
all right. Yeah, this is much better there. I've gotten the little pop-up of me that I was kind of looking at, but it's better to see all of us together.
Yep, and Pete will be on momentarily. He's on the car on the way home from work. He's has definitely he's been doing some back focus calculations for some $120,000 rig he's got going on. But
oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
But
nice.
Before we get to business, I think we should do a shout out to our sponsors that we have. We should really do that first. If I could get this going here, and I'm too far away from the screen. That it's too far away for me. And let's see, there we go. And so our first sponsor is Woodland Hills and Night Skies Network. And again, we have giveaways for most of these sponsors. We have giveaways almost every show, and Woodland Hills is only one of the vendors that has given us giveaways. Woodland Hills has given us a bunch of $50 gift certificates to their shop out in California. And we did it at $50. They gave us a lot more than that, but we wanted to give away a nice present at the end of the year, so we're kind of saving some money that they gave us in order to give something nice at the end of the year. But now it looks like the Optolong narrowband, which is going to be given away the last Friday in November, and that's going to be the Christmas present for somebody, just in time for the nice winter narrowband season. It's going to be great. So Woodland Hills and Night Skies Network, thank you to them. Followed by our Red Giant Level, Prima Luce Lab, Camera Concepts, and the aforementioned Optolong filters. Prima Luce, don't forget we got the Eagle 4 giveaway coming up, and that's coming up really 3 weeks away. So we're 3 weeks away from giving away an Eagle 4. It's going to call the Eagle 4 Ecclesi, and it's matte black with red writing, and it's maxed out. Windows 11, Wi-Fi 6, brand new SSD, 2 TB Samsung 980 Pro, and 64 gig of RAM. So it's crazy. Tom and the people over at Prima Luce, thumbs up. You guys are awesome. Camera Concepts as well, $50 for whatever, as long as I decide to give it out for. $50 gift certificates from them. And I'll show the box again when I get on screen. But Optolong gave us an amazing amount of filters and gifts to give away. So our first Optolong giveaway is in 2 days. So it's Friday. If you haven't signed up for it, sign up for it. It's going to be awesome. So check that out. And also at our super giant level, who has been super super vendors. I mean, you know, Masters of Pix Insight and IP for AP has been very generous and giving us a plethora of classes and subscriptions and everything, and they've been great sponsors to the show. Um, Tonight we have a giveaway for IP for AP for a 1 year subscription for them. So stick around to the. We'll do that again probably about 10:30 or so. So you know, you guys and girls don't start screaming at me to spin the wheel. So um, and of course, we can't do it to all our Patreon and YouTube member sponsors. Um, we have now a category called the Black Hole member, and these are people that have are donating on a monthly basis $25 or over per month. And we have a couple of them, but you also got, I think everybody got their perks, all their shirts and everything are out there. I get People are crazy. They're taking like $4,000 telescopes and putting an AstroWorld sticker on it. I mean, I love you. You know, it's great, but you know, make sure you can get that off in case you want to resell it. But I'm just saying, you know. But Red Giant members, thank you so much. You know, we just got another Patreon member today from Canada. I haven't had a chance to put that up, so that's great to see. Then we got also all of our main sequence members. We got about 20 of those. And then our 2 Protostar members as well. And if you are interested in becoming one of our patrons, go to our Patreon account. The link is on the bottom of the description of the YouTube page. Feel free to join us on them. If you were on the Patreon membership or on our Discord channel, you were able to see a preview of the intro to the video that I'm going to be making. I have 2 that's ready to go out. One for the iAxos 100 mount and another one for the Celestron DO system. That's going to be kind of cool to take a look at. So I just found out today, June 29th, Kurt Lanes will not be on. However, I rescheduled David Geeson from Photonic Cleaning Technologies is going to be on and giving us a rundown on his system to clean optics. And it's pretty interesting. A little scary, but it's pretty interesting. You know, and it's going to be great to have him come on. And following that, on the 8th of July, we have who Masters of Pixels I just had last week, Russell Croman from Russell Croman Astrophotography and his plugins on Noise Exterminator and Star Exterminator and the aforementioned for Photoshop Gradient Exterminator. So it's going to be great to see him, and he's going to give us a rundown on how his artificial intelligence system actually works. So it's going to be pretty interesting. And as usual, please join us on all or any of our other social media platforms, YouTube, Discord, Twitch, Twitter, whatever else is out there. We're on everything, and just check us out. If you want information, go to the website. Check us out at www.astroworldweb.com, and you can get all the information there. So thanks everybody for listening to me speak for about 6 minutes. I know sometimes I can ramble, but I appreciate you guys and girls being patient. And we are back, and we are live with Ron Brecher, AstroDoc. He's got the branded shirt on and everything. And go to astrodoc.ca. You can get hats, shirts, ties, whatever you want with the AstroDoc branding on it. So you can go check that out. So Ron, welcome.
Thank you. The hoodies are really nice, and it might be hot right now, but winter's coming.
Winter is coming. I got to get me one of those AstroDoc sweatshirts. I really do.
Really, yeah.
Hi, Mark Ellis. Tom Bramwell just popped on, said hi.
Hey, Tom, how are you, bud?
Bill Schlein. We got.
Hey, this shirt, I got to tell you, this shirt was a gift from Sean Nielsen, who designed my logo.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, when Sean well, beyond getting started in astrophotography, but I didn't know him for long. And my wife actually came up with the AstroDoc name. That whole idea was hers. And I asked Sean. Sean was doing web design, and I asked Sean for some help, and he designed the logo and helped us. He did the web design. I populated it, but he designed it. So
You know, isn't it great when you have somebody that could do the beginning work for you, and you could just kind of put
yeah,
stuff
well,
in
what
there?
I know about web design, you could put in your eye and you wouldn't be uncomfortable.
You know, it's funny you say that because I know diddly about web design. I don't know anything. I know I'm lucky I know more about astrophotography than I do about web design. But you know, like I was lucky to have Simon Lewis from New Zealand. He's a good friend of mine and a friend of the show that was able to revamp the entire website. He's like, "Oh no, what are you doing? It's so clunky. It's horrible." Da, 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 da. He's like, "By the way, I've done web design." I said, "You want to do it?" He's like, "Okay." So he did it.
Pete, I mean, I admire that skill. Pete Prue, my partner
Yep.
at Masters of Pix Insight, he designed that whole Masters of Pix Insight website, and not only that, but he integrated 3 websites all together in the last year,
Yep.
and did it without anybody noticing too much.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, so
He did a great job doing that too because that is not easy. It's not easy.
no, it really isn't.
But yeah, so let's see. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anybody that's popping in. I should open up. Oh, Peter's here. Peter's here.
It's-
There you go. All right. So now we got a full thing going on here. So hold on a second. Let me just make sure. Let me get the 4 up going. And then
And I'm watching over my shoulder here. I think my cat's trying to climb the curtain, so y'all might get a show here behind me.
oh, that's okay. That's okay.
So if I'm looking like I'm kind of looking behind me, it's like, yeah.
I wonder
So-
how long Sean's going to stay on. We got 3 clear nights coming. We got the first knockdown, drag out, clear night. Both of us have our telescopes raring to go.
Nice.
Where are you located?
We're both about 2 hours north of Buffalo.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
Right, hour and 3/4 from Niagara Falls. Sean is
Yeah.
about maybe a half an hour from me. He's a little bit southwest of me.
Excellent. Yeah, I finally got some clear skies. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I think it was Saturday,
Nice.
Sunday, Monday. About time. I'm in southern Delaware.
Did you get some imaging done?
I did. M13. So as these guys know, they hear all the time, I am very, very tree locked, very heavily wooded yard. So my not a lot I can do. You know, if it's straight ahead, straight above, zenith, I can get it. So I got about, I want to say about 2.5 to 3 hours on M13, 3 nights. So haven't looked at the data yet, but what I was pulling up looked pretty good. So I'm optimistic that I only have to throw maybe a third of them away.
I think Pete might be frozen.
Yeah.
And you got another person from Niagara Falls. Let's see, another friend who purchased an MBZ. Finally got his. It took a couple of months, but he got it finally, so that's nice. When Pete log backs on, we could do that. Let's get Pete unfrozen, and we'll just go back to this for now. And yeah, so. So Ron, what you got up to today? You're imaging
Well,
now.
Today I was handing out door prizes from last night's workshop. We had I think we had 115 people registered, and we gave away. I'm just gonna guesstimate. I think we gave away like $3,000 worth of stuff, and so I had a lot of emails to write this morning to all the prize winners.
No, yeah, because you had a bunch of 30% offs for 268s. You
We
had
had 30% off cameras. We had a set of narrowband 3 nanometer filters from
Yep.
Optolong.
Yep.
A couple of noise exterminator licenses. Some mounting hardware from ADM Optics.
Yep. Anthony.
So it was fun. And I was, you know what, I took the afternoon off and kind of hung out in the shade. It was hot here, but
Yeah, it
I
was like
hung out in the
we
shade.
spoke today. It was like in the 90s over there, right?
It was, yeah, and that was early this morning. But I was working last night, as you know. You were at the workshop, and it was all me for like 2 hours
Yes, sir.
of processing an image from start to finish that I do it without practicing, right? So I basically hadn't looked at the data before. So I was pretty whipped by the end of that session.
Yeah, it was great. It was a really good session. I got to see most of it. Unfortunately, I had to dump out and come back in. I had a prior engagement that I had to do for 15 minutes or so. But then I came back in. I saw the wheel, and made a quick plug for you tonight on the show, and hopefully some of those people are here tonight.
Yeah, and you're giving away an IP for AP yearly subscription. So I'll tell you about for me to get into IP for AP, I had to contribute something to get into the club for IP for AP. So we set up AstroDoc Corner in the IP for AP section of the website. And I'm producing short videos, a couple a month anyway, and covering all aspects, little things, 3-4 minute chunks, unscripted, which is kind of the way I like to work most of the time, and covering things that we might not touch on any other time. So the one I'm planning to do in the next few days is on cosmetic correction.
Nice.
And everybody just uses the auto box.
Yep.
In cosmetic correction. So I'm gonna, in this short video, show people how to use the dark and how to
make a defect map and all that. Yep.
Defect map. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think I can do that in 3-4 minutes.
I think you can. I mean, you could see when you use use those sliders, you could see where you're pushing it too much and where you're kind of, you're clipping stuff off and you're not doing the right thing. But once you're able, if you have like the 16200 has that one little half a column on the right side that on the bottom that you just, all right, it's only one column, but it shows up there. But you know what? Let's fix it. And you can fix that kind of stuff. And that's going to be really cool to see.
You got one of my 16200s. Dan bought one of my 16200s. I have another one.
Oh, geez.
And it's in action right now because the filter wheel on my my QHY 600 seized up about a week ago. Yeah, it's in California now being repaired.
Okay.
But I mean, not everybody's lucky enough to have a backup camera, but I happen to have a backup camera. I am lucky that way. And I was able to get it in action. I mean, I lost half the night where the filter wheel failed.
Oh, no.
And I lost 10 minutes of the night where I replaced the camera. But I was back in business pretty quick. And I mean, in spite of occasional failures, I mean, they happen with all brands. I've had very good luck with my QHY stuff.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I mean, since I purchased I want to say the 183, the QHY 183 that I purchased with the spread out kind of collar thing that they had on there. Ever since I bought that, and then I went to your 16200. Now I have a 268. So I gotta say, I love them. I love the QHY stuff. I really do. And people keep on making fun of me. They're like, you should go ZWO. Or, nothing wrong with that, but
six of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yep,
right?
it is.
When I got the 2600 in November, I was looking at, I can't even remember which one, the QHY. There was one that was comparable. And you look at the specs side by which one?
Probably the 268.
Probably. I mean, but the specs were almost all identical. And I mean, honestly, it was just kind of which one was available is I think where it came down to. It's like, well, this one I can get next week and this other one I cannot get next week. So
I mean, there's some differences, and they're important differences.
So
Two,
if somebody were like looking at right now, looking at the difference between two comparable, the QHY and the ZWO, what would be a difference that they would want to look at?
probably the most important for the kind of imaging we do, which is long exposure, so you don't need rapid frame rate or anything. Probably the most important thing is that the QHY uses a double anti-reflection coating on the front glass of the sensor chamber. And it does not block infrared, so you can still do infrared imaging with that filter. You must use a filter in front of the QHY cameras, so not the 16200, but the 268 and the 600. You must use a UV-IR filter or an L-Pro or something that blocks UV and IR.
Okay.
Okay. You don't need that for the ZWO. In terms of other important differences, the buffer size on the QHY camera, I believe, is double the size of the buffer on the ZWO. What that means is that you can start imaging faster. The downloads can be faster.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if they actually are faster. I haven't used a ZWO camera myself. I've seen both cameras produce great results in the right hands. I've seen both brands fail. In fact, I don't know of a brand, and I've used a lot of them, from the very highest end to the names you'd never hear of. They all fail sometimes. It's the service you get that really matters. And I've always had very good, anytime I've had any issue with QHY, whether it's a driver or anything else, I've had very good service. But then I've never had bad experiences with any camera. I've personally used SPIG, Moravian, QHY. Never had a bad experience with any of them.
Yeah, I got to agree with you there. I mean, I still have my SPIG 8300. I have the QHY. I have ZWO cameras as well. And
and I had a QSI. That was a great camera.
Yeah.
I just haven't had any bad experiences in terms of cameras in general. But maybe I'm lucky. I don't know.
Well, I think, some people do. There's been issues with each individual camera for one reason or another. The most recent one that I could think of is, and it comes up on the show a lot, was the 2600 oil drip. And but they fixed that and everything's fine with it. Nothing's been reported of any recent drips since they fixed it. So that being said, I mean, other than that, I probably had about 7 or 8 ZWO cameras, 4 or 5 QHY cameras, and 1 SPIG camera. And I can't. The last camera that I had a problem with, just because it was a piece of garbage, was the Meade DSI-1, and that was like 30 years ago. So
I remember when that came out. It was right after the LPI. Remember the Meade Lunar Planetary?
Oh yes, absolutely. And you know what? That magic focus with the AutoStar suite, there was nothing magic about it. It just never worked. It was horrible. But
oh boy.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, all the stuff that we have, then the people that kind of like, I gotta give a shout out to Mike. So I threw out on the Discord chat, and I don't know if I'm sure you guys know, but this weekend is a really cool planetary conjunction coming up with a lot of planets, and only, I think it's under a 20% illuminated moon coming across. And it's at like, well, the one that I'm going to, the one that I'm going to actually get up to go see is like 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So I threw out on the Discord channel, I said, listen, I don't have a camera lens wide enough to get this shot off in one shot. I don't have anything that wide enough. Does anybody out there have a 14 millimeter or so Canon lens that I could borrow just to see if I can pull this off. Sure enough, somebody said, "Yeah, I got one. It's collecting dust in my closet of death, and now I have it right here." So, Mike, thank you for lending me your 14 millimeter f2.8 Samyang to try and do this. So it just shows that what um, a great venue, the Discord chat and the community that we have, the amount of trust that's out there. That I didn't even met Mike. I don't know who Mike. I hate to say, I don't know who you are. I know you are in the internet world, but you just sent me a lens, not even knowing me. So thank you for that. I promise I'll get it back to you. I'll take care of this. But I just wanted to say thanks. So
That's nice.
yeah. So I just hope I can get in focus so I can take this. I can do manual focus with the Batinov mask or something. I don't know. I'll figure something out.
How's the
Yeah,
weather looking like for this weekend for you?
It's looking great.
It's still far out, but
It's thank you, Charity. Charity just donated $10 on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much to Charity. But is Pete back? Let's see. Pete's having internet issues.
I still see him frozen on my screen.
Yeah, I just left him up there. He'll be back. He's having
Okay.
Xfinity issues. But
Mobility issues right now.
yeah, well, he'll be back. He's just having issues. He had issues. There was an outage in his area one night that they were out for 3 days.
Oh,
oh
boy.
no.
Yeah, right in the middle of a show. So,
Last about a little more than a year ago, we got a whole home generator. And 10 seconds after the power goes out, that generator kicks in. Gas, it's on natural gas.
nice.
And we've needed to use it. We had an outage from a big windstorm in the spring, and it was on for 10, 12 hours. And the power was out, the generator was running, and everything was fine.
Wow. Tom's yelling at me. I should have asked him. He's got a Sigma Art 1.4. He would have let me. So, hey.
Not too late. You can get it there by Saturday, Tom.
Oh man, I don't know. That's a little tight. But you know what?
It's only Wednesday.
You know what, Tom? You need to be on the Discord channel. That's what you need. You need to join us on Discord, Tom. You need to join. We got 70 people on that thing. So, hey, it's a lot of fun, and Tom's awesome. Tom did me a solid, well, he did me a solid. My Eagle 4, no issues with the Eagle 4. Just something was weird with the Wi-Fi antenna, and I asked him to take a look at it. So I sent it to him because I don't want to mess with that. Because I actually opened up the chassis and I looked at it, and those Wi-Fi wires are they're very, very delicate. There's about 5 or 6 black little thin wires that go right to your Wi-Fi card, and it's hidden underneath it's the NUC. It's like the motherboard that's there. And in order for me to get to it, I would have to take off the NUC and kind of figure it out. And I was like, I'm okay. I built my own computer. I've done stuff like that. But with this particular item, I just wanted a professional that knows his ins and outs of it. So I sent it to Tom, and not only did Tom fix the issue, and it's on its way back, but I also sent him a 980 SSD, more RAM, and a new Wi-Fi card. He installed it and upgraded it to Windows 11. So
Awesome.
thank you, Tom, for helping me out. I appreciate that. Looks like somebody's offering to sell me their Rokinon 14 and a Rokinon 8. So and, it's funny. Last week I went on a selling spree out of my closet of death over here, and just so you know, Ron, I pulled the trigger, and everybody else on the show, I pulled the trigger on the astrophysics.
You did get it.
Yay.
You
I did.
did.
I pulled the trigger on it. I called my friend
Congratulations.
and I said, "Listen, I'm selling everything. So to get the scope. So well, I'm not selling everything, but I'm selling some things. You know, because everybody knows the amount of equipment that I have here is like you, Ron. We got equipment all over the place. And some stuff we just don't use or want something better or newer. And sometimes you need there's that line where you have to sell stuff before it becomes obsolete. I've missed that line a couple of times, like with the SBIG STF 8300M. Um, but you know, there are things that you just gotta use for a couple of years and get rid of, and use for a couple of years and get rid of, and keep them
You know,
relevant.
for me, it has to do with the size of the targets or the type of the targets that you shoot.
Yeah,
So I stick with a focal length, probably one focal length or one image scale. It's more about image scale and field of view, right? I'll stick with one setup probably for 2 years and shoot the crap out of everything I can see from my location. And then I'll sell all that, maybe not the camera, but I'll switch up the telescope so I have a different field of view or a different set of fields of view or something that allows me to now, instead of big nebulas, I'm going to go after little galaxies or something like that, and then shoot the crap out of that for a couple of years. And so I don't actually keep much hanging around. I'm lucky I have that spare camera.
yeah. Well,
But
now,
other
yeah,
than that, I have a couple of visual scopes, but I only have the equipment that's mounted and in use right now. I just sold my I had a 10-inch ASA
nice.
reflector. Yeah, I sold it to Chilisco.
Okay,
So it's going on a mount down there, and subscribers will be able to use it. It's a
nice,
great.
nice. That's gonna be awesome. Was it so?
You haven't.
Go ahead, Chuck. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I haven't quite gotten to that point where I'm selling anything yet. So I think I have finally got enough, but I don't, I'm not quite there yet.
In my best Yoda voice possible, you will be. You
I will.
will
Yeah.
be.
I can see the future. I think I can see it. Not yet, but it's coming.
There is no try.
Nope, only do. You know, it's funny since you said that. I just watched the last episode of Kenobi.
Oh, did you?
But that's for another day. But
Yeah, I haven't watched any of it, so don't spoil it.
no, I will not. But
Don't spoil it.
so that leads me to a question that I started to ask you a couple of days ago when we were on the phone. But now with me moving down to 810 millimeters in focal length, and I'm getting the 1x reducer from Astrodon, so it's a non-reducing flattener. Um, I guess the question is, how small in resolution, or how small of an object can I go without totally making it look like garbage? I
It
guess.
totally depends on the camera that you use.
Well, I'm using for that, I'm going to be using the 268 mono.
So if you're using the 268 mono with 3.76 micron pixels, you're going to be at about, I'm just doing some calculations in my head, you're going to be right around 1 arc second per pixel,
That's about right.
maybe 1.1 maybe.
Yep.
And you're right in the sweet spot. So at 1.1 arc seconds per pixel on a good night. So right now I'm shooting the Ring Nebula, right? That's a really, really small target.
Yeah.
But a lot of those small targets, they have big shells around them,
True.
right? So I'm shooting the Ring Nebula at 1 arc second per pixel, so similar to what you have, because I'm using the 16200 bigger pixels on
Right.
a bigger telescope,
Correct.
right? And it looks fine. I can see the 2 central stars really clearly resolved inside the ring.
Yep.
And the shell is coming up nicely outside the ring. So you can get pretty small targets. And also don't forget, a lot of small targets, particularly galaxies, come in groups.
True.
So when you get a lot of small targets in a field, you got a big target, right? Or a field full of little,
That is true. That is true.
right? So I would say don't be afraid to try small targets. I mean,
Okay.
they're either going to work or they're not. I
Yep.
wouldn't waste. So if you have a really transparent night with crappy seeing, don't shoot a small target because you need
Got it.
good seeing for small targets.
Well, then I'm at a complete loss in Long Island because that's all we have is crappy seeing nights. So that's all we have. That's why I shoot narrowband mostly anyway. But
Well, luckily for you, there's lots of big targets,
yeah,
right?
absolutely, absolutely.
Especially with Cygnus coming up now.
Yeah, I mean, I think this. You know what? I'm gonna love the scope. I think this is gonna be a great scope. So I think at f 6.3, 819 focal length. I think it's gonna be fine.
When are you going to be getting that?
I can pick it up tomorrow if I want to.
Nice.
The guy
So
lives.
are you kind of seeing how long you can wait?
No, you know what? In all fairness to my friend, and I don't want to mention his name, but in all fairness to my friend, I don't want to take anything away with him without having the cash in his hand. That's just the way that I am.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the last thing you want is a money beatdown between friends. I've seen many friendships ruined because of stuff like this. So, and this has been a friend of mine for the better part of 25 years, and that's the last thing I would want to see. So I don't want to touch anything, other than looking at the optics and making sure they're okay. Um, you know,
Yeah.
he's going to keep it. I'm probably going to get it because I'm actually driving the telescope. I'm selling my 127. It's already sold. It's already gone. But I'm actually going to be in Washington D.C. Weekend after next, and this gentleman just happens to live 24 minutes away from Washington D.C. So I'm going to drive it down with me, and I'll get that'll be like a third of the cost of the telescope right there. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So it's
Yeah,
gonna be fun.
you'll love it. I had an Astrophysics Traveler. That
Yeah.
was the first imaging scope that I had. I did end up selling it in the end
For a
because
longer focal length or
um I can't remember. I mean, at that time I had kind of duplication of stuff that I wasn't
gotcha.
ready to use.
Yep.
I wasn't doing a double mounted system back then, and something had to be sold. And I
Yep.
got a really good offer. They keep their value really well.
Yeah, they do. They do.
In fact, when I sold mine, it sold for about 40% more than the new price.
Wow.
Now I know that there was inflation and all that stuff,
Yeah, but still.
but it was crazy. I don't know with that scope, it was crazy.
Well, even now, even with the astrophysics now, I mean, brand new, the Grand Turismo, forgetting about the wait time that you're going to be waiting for, 5 to 6 year wait time for one. Um, right now, with none of the add-ons, retail price is $74.90 is retail. It's sold on cloudy nights about 6 months ago for $8,800.
What?
Yeah,
Mm.
I looked it up. It's crazy, but but you never sell it at what you sell it for what people want to buy it for. You don't sell it for what you bought it for. But that's the part that's part of the investment. It's an investment,
Yeah.
that scope. So
Oh yeah. But I mean, I just don't know anybody. I honestly have never heard a disappointed astrophysics owner.
nope, I
Never
haven't.
heard any astrophysics owner tell me that they're getting rid of this scope because it's garbage.
No,
They're great scopes.
no, and it's a beautiful the build on it, the work that Roland does on these scopes. That's why it takes him 5 years.
When you look, if you use them visually, which I used my astrophysics visually quite a lot. If you use it on really hard targets like Venus or the moon, the edge of the moon, absolutely no false color. I
Yeah.
mean, it was like razor sharp. I couldn't see any anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked through the same friend that I'm buying this astrophysics from actually owns the 130 EDF, which is the precursor to the Gran Turismo. And
Yes.
and he bought he put a down payment on the Gran Turismo because he's saying, well, if this one, either drops or something, I'll have a backup. Okay, fine. God forbid you God forbid you drop an EDF, but I mean, if something happens, he'll have a backup. So he put the down payment on it. 5 years later, he gets a phone call and says, "Hey, your
scope
scope's ready. You want it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want it." So he got it, and it's literally, with the exception of one or two first light events, it's been sitting in his case in pristine condition for about 2 years, and it hasn't been touched.
It's been waiting for you.
It's been waiting. I've seen it. I've been to his house and I've seen it. It just came in conversation saying, "What are you doing with that thing anyway? What are you doing? It's just sitting there." I mean, it's such a shame. You got
I know.
one, you use it, you love it. And
That's how I felt about the 10-inch, right? It was
yeah,
sitting in a box, and it's
yep,
a beautiful scope. But I what that scope was doing, I'm now doing with my Esprit 150, the Skywatcher Esprit
yep,
150. It's almost the same focal length that I was getting with the reflector, and I've used reflectors and refractors. I like them both at different times, but overall, I'd have to say if I could only pick one, it would be refractors all the way.
yeah.
I just,
No,
um, just my preference.
yeah. Me too. I mean, I was actually in the market for a 9 1/4 Schmidt. And I was talking, and then people like talking to me on, because people are starting to go on a Discard and talk to me, and I'm an open book. I don't care. I throw it all out there, and everyone's, "Man, Dan, you're a refractor guy. What are you doing getting a Schmidt?" like I'm like I'm like, and it took me a while, and I was like, you know what? They're right. I am. I'm a refractor guy. So I'm just gonna choose to be the refractor guy. And maybe when I retire, if I retire, I'll get, and hopefully by then I'll have an observatory with a permanent pier and a mountain. I could just sit there and put a nice 11 or 14-inch on there and get some good planetary shots eventually. But other than that, that's all I would really use it for.
Have you seen that Stellar View is doing a limited run on 7-inch
I did.
Apo?
I did.
Oh, baby.
And I'm just over here nodding and shaking my head, like I'm just dying of scope envy over here.
Hey, you know what?
But I think about it. You know what? Scope envy, boy. There's a thing, right? If you really think about it, it's going to be a beautiful refractor. It's going to perform beautifully.
Yeah.
But I have a 6-inch refractor. If I go to a 7-inch refractor, I get a little bit more magnification, a little bit less field of view, but I'm limited by the same sky
Yep.
to about 2.5 arc seconds per pixel.
I'm over here just like going, that's so bad.
That's like the size of my head,
That's
That
huge.
is so big.
Like
I'll
that's
tell you
always
what,
like a cannon.
the Esprit 150 is a big scope.
Yeah.
If you look at my double scope system, there's an article on my website called Double Vision that shows it. My 4-inch tack is tiny compared to that 6-inch refractor. Add another inch of aperture, the thing gets huge. And then you get into the law of unintended consequences where maybe you need a new mount. And now we've got a problem.
Now I think I'm gonna need a bigger
Because then
boat.
then I might have to buy a new kitchen to get a new mount.
I gotta tell
you gotta do both, right? You gotta do both.
It's the whole
I got to
law
be
of
on the other
unintended
end
consequences.
yesterday for the first time in like forever. So I'll tell. So I actually have a fun story. So the best $70 I spend every month is to have somebody come and spray my yard for mosquitoes. Mosquito Authority shows up yesterday, and I see him walking across the front yard. The dogs are losing their minds. So I like stick my head out, just be like, "Hey," and he looks at me, goes, "That's a Skywatcher EQR." I'm like, wait, what? Like I've got my scope set up out in the side yard. I'm on the phone with my mom. I'm like, Mom, dude knows my mount. I got to go. Hang up. And he has just got himself all rigged up. And hopefully I'm like kind of looking at the chat. His name's Brian. I told him, I was like, you got to come check out our show. So hopefully he'll pop in, but he's a photographer and he's just got himself rigged up. He ran through what he had, but he was just like dying over my mount. So it was kind of nice to be on that other side and be like, yeah, let me tell you what I've got. Spent 2 hours sitting in the driveway. This point, finally I had to tell the guy, like, listen, I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you get to work because we've been talking here for like 2 hours now. So it was kind of fun. And I like hung up on my mom. I ended up calling her back. She's like, what was that about? And she's like, I heard something about blah, 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 mount, blah, blah, blah. Astro, blah blah blah.
That's funny.
but it was kind of nice to be on the side where somebody else is going like, wow, I really like your rig.
Nice. That's
that
great.
never happened.
No, it'll happen. Trust me, it happens. But if you want to see, here you go, and I'll show you. Yeah, I give you the live view so you guys can see. So this is what Ron was talking about. This is his article,
cool.
Double Vision. This is from his website. And if you want to talk about the setup, I have the picture of it right here, Ron.
Oh yeah. So okay. So on the bottom, the red thing, that's a Paramount MX mount. So that's the precursor to the MX Plus. Difference in capacity of about 10 pounds. So mine will hold 90 pounds. And then the big refractor is a Skywatcher. And that's an Esprit 150 triplet Apo f7. So focal length is around 1070 millimeters. And hanging off the back of that is a QHY16 200 camera with an off-axis guider, which is just caught off there. And that's the same as the camera that I sold to Dan.
Yep.
And he's getting nice results with that.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Nice results that I've seen. And then sitting right atop before that, even between the two refractors, is a Prima Luce Eagle 4 Pro.
The Eagle.
And all my power and all of my devices go to the Eagle, which is why you don't see any wires hanging off of everything. I have a good friend, Gord Simpson, who's kind of my StarTech guy, and he came over and helped with all the cable management here. Okay, so then sitting on top, so the Prima Luce Eagle has rings sitting on it, so it's like mounting hardware in addition to being a PC. And then I've got the TAC FSQ 106 on top. And whereas the bottom camera is a mono camera with a 7-position filter wheel, the top camera is a QHY 367C Pro, and it's a one-shot color. And I'm just using a UV-IR filter with that. So it's really good on these short summer nights. I shoot with the one-shot color in a wide field, and in a tighter field at higher resolution, I shoot luminance and or narrowband. And then I combine them all in the computer. And that works pretty well.
Nice. Yeah, so hang out at you can definitely check out all of Ron's articles at his website, and I'll throw it on a ticker on the bottom. Definitely do that.
I'm just starting checking out my focus for my imaging run for tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, 3 clear nights coming.
Oh, gotta love it.
What are you?
I wasn't going to call and cancel, but
don't do that.
What are you shooting?
What are you using for acquisition now, Dan? Nina?
Yeah, yeah, I've changed to Nina about 6 months ago, maybe right in the winter time I get. Um,
Yeah,
but I love it. I know I think you and I and myself and Sean Nielsen got together a couple times working through the advanced sequencer.
yeah,
I just recently started playing with Hocus Focus, which is a plugin. Um,
yeah. I
and
use
uh,
it.
and you know what I love about it? I didn't know what it did. You know, I know what it does. I get it, but I didn't realize that it actually gives you recommendations for backspacing to the flattener. So
Huh.
it'll tell you to move further or closer away, or closer to the flattener.
What is
Oh, I
that?
didn't know that either.
Yeah, on the bottom
I mean,
it'll
I just
say,
haven't used. Go
yeah,
ahead.
no, no, on the right under right in the middle of the screen, it'll say move sensor further from flattener or move sensor closer from flattener point 0.8 or point 0.9 or whatever. It'll give you
Oh, that's great.
recommendations for curvature. Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna have to try that because, well, although no, I'm not. It's everything's good. I
I'm just I'm
never
just not.
touch anything that's working. That's the first rule of
Nope.
astrophotography.
Don't do that when you got 3 clear nights coming.
Okay,
That
so I'm gonna speak for Sean here and give you an example because he can't speak for himself because he's not in the chat here. But
oh
Sean
he
got a
was.
new imaging computer to try today, and he got it all set up. It's ready to go. He could use it right now, but he wisely decided not to change anything till full moon.
Good for him.
We got 3 beautiful clear nights coming,
Don't
so
do
I'm
it,
not
man.
sure we'll see anything messed up.
Yeah, so Sean is in the chat right now.
Oh,
And
cool.
he said aberration inspector is what in Nina, and there is something called aberration inspector in Nina.
Yeah,
However, there is Hocus Focus as well. Now, I
it's
don't know
different.
if
Yeah.
it works in conjunction with the aberration inspector, but right on the Hocus Focus screen, it gives you whether to move the sensor further or closer to the flattener to get maximum, um, or not maximum, minimum curvature. So
What now? What is this hocus pocus?
it's
Here,
an
can I show my screen? I
yeah,
got it up.
absolutely.
So let me toggle screen sharing and
And I'll
just show
make
my
you.
new screen.
And are you seeing the live in the green room, or are you seeing the 3 up?
Um, I don't,
You
I
just see
don't
your
really know.
screen or all
I
3 of us?
toggle screen sharing, but it's. Oh, here we go. Do you see my screen now?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So I'll just make that full screen. You see my screen.
Yep. You got Nina.
So yeah, so what Dan is talking about is if you go to the plugins page and go to Hocus Focus, you've got is it here that you're talking about?
Yeah, so if you do the Hocus Focus routine and run the autofocus,
Yeah.
it'll give you recommendations on flattener positioning or your sensor positioning for your flattener.
And so does that appear here in the imaging tab
Yes,
in
so
the
if you go in
autofocus
the imaging
report?
tab
Yeah.
and then you go under, let's see, is that the regular? Is that Hocus Focus? I
Yeah.
can't
No,
remember.
this is Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, so when you run the autofocus routine, once it's done in that bottom area, will show you for your flatness spacing.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'll look for that tonight.
Yeah, give it a shot. Yeah.
I'll look for that tonight.
So
But anyway, what I'm doing right now is the camera's just running. I was just making sure I got my initial focus. There's those white lines,
yep.
those warm columns that Dan was talking about. This is a QHY 16200,
Yep.
and so this is the monochrome camera, and then I've got the color camera running as well in a different instance of Hocus Focus, and they're both, they're both ready to run a focus run at any time now. So I can just stop that, and I'm pretty sure I've set this up to just wait until nautical dusk, so I can start this.
Let's
and
press
it
play.
will wait until nautical dusk. And then I'll do the same with the monochrome camera. I will go to the, I'm just waiting for the camera to stop. And once it stops, I can start the imaging run. It's going to wait until the sun is 10.5 degrees below the horizon and then tracking. When it's 12 degrees below the horizon is when you've reached nautical dusk. That's the beginning, the end of nautical dusk, beginning of astronomical twilight. So that's running now, and I'll check it after the show. Hopefully everything will be good. And I should stop my screen sharing while that's disappearing into itself. There you go.
You get the ultimate kind of.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm in my office in my house, and the screen you were looking at was between those two, the computer between the two telescopes.
The Eagle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Eagle.
That's that's what's so great when you could just attach that to your home network and just either log in. You could log in via a number of ways, but you could do remote desktop. You could do Parallels client. You could do whatever you want.
Well, and if you can do it from across your driveway,
yeah,
you can do it from around the world.
Yep.
So I had to travel to Ottawa, which is a couple of hour and a half flight from where I live, and my son opened up the roof and took the lens cap off for me. I did the rest.
Yeah.
You can turn the power on and off and do everything from anywhere.
That's awesome.
And then in the morning, the scope was all parked. He put the lens caps on, closed the roof.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Gotta love it.
I trained him well.
Gotta love it.
My Padawan learner.
a lot of Star Wars stuff going on tonight.
Well, you started it.
I did start it. I usually do. That's I'm the one that kind of kind of throws things off a little bit somewhere along the way. But that's my personality. I'm so sorry.
It keeps it fun, keeps it interesting, and you have a button for that.
I do, and sooner or later it will go off the rails. I have a new graphic called Off the Rails. That when we start talking about something other than astrophotography, it goes off. So
if I were to say I was gonna show you my guitars or something, my guitar collection, you'd bring up the Off the Rails.
Yeah, if it goes, it's got to be more than a mention. It's got to be like a 2 or 3 minute, just kind of jump the shark type thing. It's like we're out. Like sometimes when Pete's on, we end up talking about hockey for 10 minutes. So I'm like, oh, I'm done. And I hit the button. but
are you watching hockey now at all?
Yeah, I watched the game. What was it, last night?
Isn't there a final tonight?
Is it tonight or was it 2 nights ago? I'm such a loss. It might be tonight. It's a game. If anything, it's game 4. Because game 3, Tampa won. Oh, it's going on right now. It's the end of the second. So I don't want to say anything. And Pete's. Oh wait, it looks like Pete might be on. I see his head moving.
Oh, let him in.
Yes,
hey boys, what's going on?
Oh, let me get Pete on here. There you go. You made it. You made
Hi,
it.
buddy.
And let me.
Hey,
can
Ron.
you see? Can you see the 4 or do you? Ron and everybody, can you see the 4 pictures now?
I can.
I see everyone.
Yes. All right. Good. I just want to make sure everybody sees everyone.
Yeah, I do.
Hi, Pete.
Hello, sweetie.
You made
How's
it.
everybody? I had internet issues with the carrier Xfinity, but I got it taken care of.
Good.
All right. Well,
Good
welcome.
to see you.
We were just talking about Ron's setup and his Esprit 150 and his TAC 106 that he has hanging out on top. And right now he's what are you imaging right now, Ron? What are you going for?
I'm going for I think it's maybe the smallest thing I've ever shot. It's the Cat's Eye Nebula.
Ooh, nice target.
I'm gonna share it again. Hold
Yep.
on. I got to figure out how to do it properly. Right. You see my desktop now, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So if I go to my temporary directory, this is just 4 hours and 50 minutes, one night processed in 5 minutes. So this is
Nice.
luminance. This is luminance through the Esprit, and there's tons of galaxies in this image.
Yeah.
One right here,
Mhm.
one here. There's another obvious one over here, but there's lots of little ones. Here's another one over there.
Yeah,
and
right
I
at the
think,
bottom at the spot position.
yeah, there's quite a lot of detail considering how fast I processed this and did nothing to it. I mean, I literally stretched it and cropped it, and that was about it. So that's what I'm shooting the next 3 nights.
That's gonna be you're gonna spend all 3 nights on that, huh?
Yep, all 3 nights, start to finish. And sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to get back and stop this sharing.
There you go. Oh,
There it is. Yeah,
almost. There you
I'm
go.
planning to shoot all 3 nights. And you probably saw the core was kind of burned out. Those are 5-minute subs. And they're also burned out in the color version. So each morning, starting at astronomical twilight, like when the sun passes 18 degrees, I'm going to switch from 5-minute subs to 30-second subs
Okay.
and get 20 or 30-second subs each morning. And then I'll make a high dynamic range image. So hopefully I'll be able to get the details out of the core.
Gotcha.
Right, because the 5-minute subs are giving me really nice exposure in the shell.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you get that nebula goes all the way out to the sides. It's
It's
nice.
like, and it's like a hexagon. It's actually very regularly shaped. I was surprised.
It's gonna be a great object.
So that's what I'm doing, and we'll eventually I'll share it. I'm getting a queue of data sets that I need to process, and I will want to when the weather gets crappy again.
Well, it's nice to have enough data that you have too much data that you're just sitting there and waiting to process it, you know.
Yeah, well, I also sometimes you get a glut of M51s. Everybody's shooting M51 and posting M51. So if I just shot M51, I'll wait and post it at Christmas.
There you go.
So some of
That
those
works.
data sets they sit and wait.
Nice.
Because they're all different, of course. I mean, that's one of the things I really like about astrophotography is that everybody has a different take on the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, we had one, and this picture keeps on in my head. It just stands out because it was so original. We do a picture of the week contest that we do, and unfortunately, I don't think this picture won. I think people were just scared of the originality of it, but because we don't judge the pictures, the peers vote on the pictures. So I mean, we have nothing to do with it. Even the ties stay a tie. So I have it somewhere. I'm sure I have it somewhere. But there is an elephant trunk nebula out there that this person made. It's a really good definition, but it's like black and purple. And
Wow.
I remember that one.
Yeah, it just
That was really it was very unique. Now I'm very partial to purple anyway, but I remember that one.
So is my wife.
Liked it.
I see you're wearing a purple sweatshirt.
Yes,
There we
yes.
go.
Now, if I could just figure out how to process and get the purple without going just a little bit too far with it, I need to just reel it back in a little bit. But
I wrote an article just a little while ago for Sky and Telescope called Palettes of the Deep Sky that was really all about color and deep sky astrophotography. And I don't think people should get too hung up by rules about color in astrophotography. I think if we all made the pictures look the same, there'd be no point in any of us doing it. And some people like purple, some people like green. Some people hate magenta stars, some people like them.
Yep.
So I think people, you know, I think it's good to be intentional about whatever you do with your color and the way you present, particularly narrowband, because it's false color anyway. I think you need to be intentional, but you don't need to be didactic. You don't need to follow rules
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Like, do what you want. It's the Wild
Yeah, if
West in the
everybody did it the
narrowband
same,
world.
I mean, it would get really boring on the internet after a while. You see the same thing just repeated and repeated. No, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. It's there's something to be said for doing, you know, making it your taking the picture yourself, making the picture yourself, and it doesn't have to be the same as somebody else's. Everybody's got different style.
Yeah, and
You look at
that,
the best of the best in the image processing world, they're all really different. It's very useful to look at those pictures and ask yourself what you like or don't like about them.
Yeah.
And then whatever your answer is, try to bring some of that into your own processing.
yeah, it's funny you say that because that's something that comes up quite a bit on the show, and the question gets asked quite a bit where it says somebody says, "Well, what color should this be?" or "Is this right? Is the color palette correct?" or whatever the case would be. And the answer always, to me, comes down to this: it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because this is what we do in astrophotography, to me, is art. And when you're doing art, it doesn't matter what I think of it. It doesn't matter what Ron thinks of it. It doesn't matter what the best astrophotographer in the world thinks about it. It's your vision, it's your picture, it's your image, it's your equipment. And if you're happy with it,
And I
done.
mean,
Agree.
even if we used the same equipment on the same night and processed everything on the same computer with the same monitor,
Yeah.
my eyes are different. My brain is different. My taste is different. And so my pictures are going to be different. And that's okay. You got to get your own style. That's all.
Yep. I mean, like Ron said, so you know,
Okay,
a lot
well,
of
we've solved it all now.
it's all done. Go free like a bird, free.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people out there, I mean, they literally have a Photoshop action out there called Hasta La Vista Green. And if for those of you Photoshop users out there that are out there, a lot of people don't like green, and I'm one of the people. I know Ron also likes it as well. I kind of like that little transition from the blues to the green to the yellow to the orange. When you're doing narrowband, when you're doing that SHO palette, I like having that little tinges of green here and there when you get those transitions.
I do too, because if you take out the green, you end up, and these look good, by the way, there's nothing wrong with this, but you end up with a bicolor blue and gold image.
Yep.
And like I say, they do look good, and on some objects, they look spectacularly good. But I just think it's more interesting to have a broader palette. You can suppress the green, but anyway, it's all
Embrace the
personal
green. Embrace the green. Well, Dan, when I did that first narrowband image that I did of the California Nebula, and you got online with me for about an hour and a half, and you helped me bring out the green, and I was about hopping up and down in my seat. I was just so excited that I got those colors because I wanted to see that green transition, and it was just like, oh my gosh, look at that! Yeah.
Here's another little aspect of this conversation, which goes back to what you said about we're doing art, not science. And that is, I think that's a primary truth for almost all of the amateur community. But if you're shooting narrowband and you let the green survive, right, a little bit, you can actually do a lot of science, because those narrowband images, they reveal differences in the chemistry over here compared to over there. The different hues tell you that there's a different mix of gases in one spot versus another. So you might not know exactly what the mix is, but you know that there's something dynamic happening there.
Exactly.
And even in our own images, we can see things changing over time. I shot Carolyn's rose cluster 3 years apart, and there's a variable star in it, which I now know is called WY Cassiopeia. But in those 2 shots, I thought a star had vanished in these 3 years, and I looked and couldn't find anything about it. So I wrote to the Central Bureau for Astronomical Telegrams about this discovery, and of course, I didn't hear anything from them. So I contacted a friend of mine in Saskatchewan who's a variable star pro and told him my story. And he said, you shouldn't waste their time. You really should have done your homework. It turns out this star was discovered in the 19th century, and it does this pretty regularly. And I just happened to catch it. But going back to what you're saying, you can actually do a little bit of science. So you can record those changes in brightness. There's, I think it's globular, it might be globular cluster M5 that has a lot of variable red stars in it. And if you shoot that globular for a whole season, and then animate that, you can see those stars pulsing on and off. So, just depends how hard you want to work at it.
What in my keyboard stopped working?
Uh-oh.
No, just talking to chat. Eric bumped in the chat. He's in Florida.
Isn't he supposed to be on vacation?
Yeah, he's in Florida on vacation.
Is he chatting from the beach? Hi,
Yeah,
Eric.
Yeah, I don't know if he's at the beach at 10:15 at night, but he's definitely. I think he said he's drinking something. So
How come he doesn't have a telescope set up?
He's with the family, so it's family time.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
I don't know what that is. What are you talking about? Not in my vocabulary. I'm telling you. Oh yeah, he is. He's in Cancun. That's right, not Florida. My bad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he's in he's got a wedding to go to, or so he's having some festivities with family. So
nice. That's a nice reason to go to Cancun.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Wedding.
I'm telling you.
I guess you don't have to have a great reason to go to Cancun.
Well, I'm sorry. We could talk Cancun. I am super stoked for October. That's all. I'm super stoked for, because I am doing the Masters of PixInsight Grand Tour, almost 2/3. 2/3 of Masters of PixInsight plus Visible Dark. So I'm gonna be doing. My wife hates me right now. She's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, we're gonna go to the Niagara Falls, and we're gonna do all this." And I said, "Yeah, but you know what? We're gonna go see the Rush concert first. Then we're gonna go visit Astro Dark and Sean Nielsen. Then we're coming back to the Niagara Falls to see it, because I was told by somebody pretty famous that I need to see it from the Canada side." And a pretty famous person is to my right or left right now, but and then we're gonna hit Buffalo, and we're gonna hit Pete Proul on the way home. So
awesome. We have to have a barbecue. We'll get Sean over and his wife Trish, and
that's fine.
Good old shindig. And I got a 20-inch obsession. If it's clear, we'll set up the scope in the driveway.
Nice. I'll bring the eyepieces I want to sell. In order,
I don't want to buy any eyepieces. I got a box of eyepieces.
Oh man, I finally decided that I'm just gonna go. If I decide to do visual again, which I have an 18-inch obsession. The original oak, the wood one.
I got the original 20.
Yeah, so I bought it in 2007, I think, and I just took a look at the mirror to make it, because I haven't used it in like 5 years. Realistically, I haven't used it, and I packed away the mirror in the original box and everything with the original cotton that goes on top. I have everything over, and I just wanted to go and take a look at it, make sure no spider fungus or anything was going. I got like silicates around, those little packets to make sure nothing.
Yeah.
And I look at it, looks brand spanking new. I mean, it's perfect condition. So
my mirror was made in 1996,
nice.
and it's perfect. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
Dan, what you need to do is when you go to the Canadian side of the falls, you'll take the Niagara Parkway down towards Niagara on the Lake, and you'll actually follow that all the way through. Then you got to take a stroll through Niagara on the Lake, and literally you can see how far back over the eons Niagara Falls is actually just eroded back to the Horseshoe Falls.
Wow.
And I can remember when I was in college in '72, they actually dewatered the American Falls. They actually put a block on the American Falls because they wanted to find out what the erosion rate was. And so I was able to do a study through my university. They kind of reached out to the U.S. Corps of Engineers, and they allowed me to get down underneath where all that talus was coming back down. And I tell you what, man, it really makes you feel small when you look at the size of those falls. It really is impressive. But it's a beautiful trip.
I did some work under one of the bridges. They had to, they used to paint these bridges with leaded paint. And I'm a toxicologist. So the Niagara Parks Commission hired my company to help do the lead abatement stuff when they were repainting the bridge. So I got to go like inside one of those bridges. It's unbelievable.
It's
really
incredible,
cool.
honey.
Yeah.
It really is impressive. I mean, it's
The
probably
power
one
of
of
the
the
water there.
Is it considered one of the natural wonders of the world? Is it like the eighth wonder or
Yeah.
ninth?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. At least the Canadian side, right, Dan?
Yeah, that's true.
So that'll be the second wonder of the world that I've seen. I've seen the Grand Canyon from helicopter, which was awesome. I took a helicopter tour in the Grand Canyon, which is scared the Jesus out of me, but it was a lot of fun. And then the Niagara Falls, and now I just got to
Have you
see.
been to Niagara before?
No, never been there.
Oh, it's impressive. It's impressive.
It's
It is
really
hard to
impressive.
imagine. And Ron, you can attest to this. They used to actually have guys that would put a tightrope, and they would actually walk across from the Canadian side to the American side on a tightrope. I mean,
Not
can you
far.
imagine that on a tightrope, man? I mean, it was like in the early 19th century, guys going over in barrels. It's just
Yeah.
incredible.
Nope.
I was just told that this is an off the rails event.
Okay.
So so there you go. It's the off the rails event. So
Oh, yeah. That was a train wreck.
total. It took me about 5 hours to do that 3-second sequence. But
But it's good.
It's good. It's good.
And I can tell you're going to use it a lot.
Oh, the first night I actually made it live. I think I went trigger happy. I hit it like 5 or 6 times just to hit it. Now I hit it maybe once or twice a night, and that's it. I try and keep it kind of, But
That's funny.
let's see. We got the people talking about the sun cycle. I really haven't been kind of paying attention to the chat. I apologize, everybody. We've been having so much fun talking. But it looks like there's a lot of just chat in there. Not many questions yet. Red laser pointers burn through my retinas. Okay, yeah. Oh, they're talking about Comfortably Numb and Pink Floyd laser shows.
If we're talking about music, I'm going to see the Doobie Brothers a week from today.
Nice.
Oh, cool. That was
Nice.
Michael
And I've
McDonald. He's going to be with them, isn't he?
Yeah, it's their
Yep.
50th anniversary tour. I've got
Nice.
seats right behind the soundboard.
Nice.
Oh man, that's a great band. That is a great band.
What was it? What's that song we did by them? I did a song by them in my band. I forget what it was. But
China Grove.
no, it wasn't
Listen to
China Grove.
music.
Dangerous.
No,
Dangerous.
I forgot which one it was. It's been so long. I mean, we haven't been in a band since 1997. But China Grove. Dave Schaefer did China Grove. A lot of people did China Grove. See, when I was in a band, we did all the songs that nobody could pull off, or nobody wanted to try. We did stuff like Aqualung by Jethro Tull. Love Lies Bleeding. Foreplay
yeah.
Long Time. A couple of Rush tunes, which no one would even try. Like we did the first two parts of 2112. We did, we did crazy stuff, and we were okay. We were pretty good. I have one picture. I'll show it. I'll bring my album, my photo album with me, and I'll show you what we played to in Long Island. It's like packed place, but it's awesome. But we got to do. You know what I want to do, Ron? And I mentioned it to Warren, and Warren's in. I want to do. Oh, don't put the music on. We're gonna get cut off. Don't put the music on. Don't do that. We'll get copyright infringements. but I mentioned it to Warren, and Warren's in, and I have a drummer, and Sean's in too. So I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but I want to do Astro Jam. Maybe
I'm in.
1 or 2, maybe 3 songs, maybe like 4 songs a year, let's say, one every quarter. And it doesn't have to be live, but I'd have my friend lay the drum track, I'd send it to everybody, and everybody just does a video and, just a video of you playing it, and that's it. And I'll put it,
Cool.
I'll edit it all, I'll put it all together. And
I'm in.
all right, cool. So I'm thinking the first song is Walking on the Moon by the Police.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Perfect.
So
yeah, that'd be fun.
Somebody said Smoke on the Water. Okay, so Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple is probably, as a bass player, I think every bass player on the planet probably learned that song first. From if you were anywhere, a bass player from the 70s to like the mid 90s, you learned Smoke on the Water first because it was the easiest thing in the world to play. It was so easy as a bass player.
Absolutely.
What about Astronomy Donomy, Pink Floyd?
There you go. There you go.
Astronomy Donomy would be a good one.
That's another one.
Or what's the Rolling Stones song? I think we are going off the rails.
Yeah. And they're even saying it in the chat. What are we off the rails again? But yeah, so what time is it? It's almost 10:30. Maybe we should do the raffle.
I've got my if you want me to show it, I've got.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hang on 1 second, and
I'll make you bigger again. Well, yes, we're back to astrophotography, guys and girls.
Yeah. So this is just waiting to dither, waiting for the other camera to dither. Let's look at the main. Oopsie. Let's look at the main camera. It's already imaging. So this is the first 5-minute sub. Really good, tight stars. 2.11 at 1 arc second per pixel. 1.1. So I'm about 2.3 arc second. Half flux radius. You can see the center of the cat's eye, and you can see a little bit of the surrounding stuff. And this client is just waiting for the leading client to dither, and then it'll start shooting. So it's waiting. I've got synchronized dither going on here.
Nice.
Yeah. So let me get the heck out of here now.
That's okay.
And back to this and stop my share. And I'm back. Did I lose you?
Nope. There we go.
Oh, good. There we are. Okay, all I could see was myself for a
Yeah,
second.
no, I gotta switch. I made you bigger so people could see your screen.
So, Ron, we missed you at AIC, but I heard that Warren Keller and Richard Wright both got COVID.
They did. They did.
That's
I just wasn't able to make it, but if I had been, I'm not sure I would have gone. There was a surge in cases at the time of AI, just before, about a week before. And what many people might not know about me is I'm a public health guy. I have a PhD in toxicology, and I'm a consultant in public health and toxicology. So
so that surge, was
I
that in
did my own
Canada?
risk
Was that in
assessment,
Canada?
stayed home.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I am coming to California for in October. Right after I see Dan, I'm flying out to California. I'm going to visit with my buddy Tom Bramwell, and then I'm going to go out to the Nightfall Star Party, which is the last weekend in October, and like right
That's out
around
at
Halloween.
Vegas Springs. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm the keynote. I'm doing a couple of workshops there on the Saturday, and I'm going to do my first time observing in the California desert. So I'm looking forward to that.
You'll enjoy it. It's nice up there. It's really a beautiful place. Beautiful location. Also, they've got the statues out in the desert. Just take a night out, go out there and do some light painting with those statues. They got the metal statues. They got a bunch of dinosaurs and horses out in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, I mean, you get out there with the terrestrial lens and camera, and you can light paint, and there's some beautiful images you come up with.
Cool. Yeah, I might do that. On the other hand, when I travel to these things, I just kind of like looking through the eyepiece. I just walk around looking through other people's telescopes at these star parties.
Yeah, I know.
Nice.
I went to the Winter Star Party a few times as a speaker, but there were people there with like 36, 48-inch telescopes. It was crazy.
Yeah.
36-inch telescope with one of those electronic eyepieces, the i3 eyepiece. The horse head was like in your face.
Nice.
Crazy.
Yeah. You got a question from Captain 404. So in your opinion, what's the next big evolution in astrophotography coming up, do you think?
So I'm not going to give you my opinion because I don't think it's that well informed. I'm going to give you Richard Wright's opinion.
Oh, the death of guiding?
Well, it's, I think that's the most dramatic prognostication that he's made. But really, the death of guiding, if it ever happens, is going to be a consequence of these changes, not the other way around. So the main changes that Richard talked about in the article have to do with doing more things in the camera. So for like right now, your smartphone does a lot of things to your pictures before you ever see them, including debarring if you're doing low light images, noise reduction, hue and saturation adjustment. You've got the magic wand on your phone, right? So imagine putting that into the world of astrophotography, where instead of shooting 5-minute exposures, you could shoot 5 1-minute exposures and have them all saved up in the camera and then stacked in the camera and downloaded. 5 times less space, 5 short exposures. Maybe you add some intelligence that can get rid of any that are out of focus or have an airplane going through or a cloud. So that's what Richard basically said, is there comes a point where you can't make the technology any better. So what you have to do is change the process. That was his main thesis. And the main ways you change the process, at first at least, is in the camera. Another way you can, we've done a lot of the equipment improvements where we've gone with faster optics, smaller pixels, back illuminated sensors with really high quantum efficiency, big corrected fields on telescopes. We've done most of what we can do with that technology. So now it's changed the process. So make it more, one thing you do, if you can do on the fly stacking of small, short exposures, now maybe you don't need to guide.
Yeah.
Right?
The other thing too,
So the
the
depth
other
of
thing
guiding is more like, astrophotography is freaking hard, right? There's so many hard things in astrophotography. If I can do one less of them, yay, right? So that's where I think the
that brings
future
up
of
a good point. What about the improvements in the algorithms and software? Because we all know that it's the post-processing that takes, it's everybody's weakness is the post-processing. And if you can come up with third-party algorithms to really make like noise reduction, like a lot of the stuff that Roger Corman or Russell Corman's come up with, even APP or is what you're doing right now in PixInsight, it's going to be incredible to see how easy post-processing with the software is going to become.
Yeah, and it might get easy to make photos that you'd be happy to show your friends, or but if you want to share your photos professionally, it's never going to get easy. Not in my lifetime. If it was, everybody would be doing it. I don't think it's going to get easy. And so normally when I get involved in using tools like a hammer or a screwdriver, there's a trip to the hospital involved at some point. Okay. But I have a friend who's a carpenter. If you gave me the best hammer money could buy, I still couldn't build you a house that would stand up, right? But you could give him a pretty mediocre hammer and he'd build you a really good house. And I think it's the same with astrophotography, right? You're right, Peter. The tools have really improved. You can get a better hammer now, right? But people spend a lot of money on equipment and software, and then they don't take the time to learn how to use it. And so they never get to make that picture that they really like to make. So
and the other thing that's interesting is that everybody wants to have this degree of automation, but it's kind of like almost if you had a hands-free car. Isn't that what's driving is about, to be able to drive and to kind of go as fast as you want unless you're on an LA freeway, because you can't have complete automation. You're going to have to definitely have some type of an input. In other words, we were talking about color, right? If we had the automation that would literally just say, okay, this is the way the color should be, we just take that away as being the artist. We kind of have the individuality that these people would say, hey, look, I want to just do this nebula complex the way I choose to choose my color, because I choose to do it because I'm the artist. So you're absolutely right. I don't think that we're going to get into complete automation without having, that human interface.
Well, and I think some of the steps can be really automated. I mean, I use icons. I've tweaked the settings and I barely change them. I just use them the way I've set them. Settings for my processes, some of them. But other ones I agonize over. There's certain steps that I really agonize over. Trying to find just the right settings. And maybe I have to stop after that, come back the next day with fresh eyes to see if I still like it. And frankly, I enjoy that. Yes, I like the convenience of having a cell phone because I can take pictures anywhere, anytime. But I have a DSLR. When I want to take a picture of a hummingbird, I don't use my cell phone. I use the DSLR and I focus it manually and I set the, whatever. That's part of the fun for me. It's one of the reasons why I've never really yet. I will when I get older and I can't handle my own equipment, I guess. But I haven't really gone for remote imaging much either, because I just enjoy the capturing of the data. I process. I teach online. I do online tutoring, and I have dozens of students. And I process some, including Dan, and I process some fantastic data. Like I have some clients that produce off the chart data, or they get it from an observatory, on top of a mountain in the desert in the southern hemisphere. But for me, for my pictures, I'd rather get it from my Bortle 5 backyard
Yeah.
in crappy, occasionally good conditions, because that turns my crank.
Yeah.
Well,
I know you're the
as
same.
you said, as you said, it's the fact that you took the image, you did all the hard work. Only you can appreciate what you have to do to get to that challenge, to get to that end result. And believe me, most people don't have a clue as astrophotographers the depth and the amount of work that goes involved to be able to get that image. Because as most people think, oh, it's just like taking a picture with your cell phone. It's not like that.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
completely different.
No, it's completely different. You're absolutely right.
I think we just lost
So-
Jess. Jess is
Okay.
frozen, I think. She said her power is blinking. So she might be having some power outages down by her.
Well, is it
That's not
time for
good.
what time is it? Time for the wheel spin?
About
7:40?
It's about 10:40.
Yep.
Make a real quick check on the hockey game.
It's 2-2.
Yep. Gosh.
Let's go to overtime. This would be interesting.
Oh no, don't. Just Tampa. Just Colorado win. Just win. That's it.
Hey, Austin Matthews took home the big trophies last night.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he took home the Hart and the Ted Lindsay Award.
That's nice.
Now, if only that team can win.
I've been
mean,
saying that since 1983. So yeah, we could do the spin of the wheel real quick. We could do that. I got it all set up and ready to go. Let's see. All right. So we'll do the spin of the wheel, and for tonight we are spinning the wheel for a year subscription for IP for AP, which is an awesome tool with a whole bunch of tutorials for PixInsight, but not only PixInsight, it also has tutorials for Photoshop as well, and that's how it actually pretty much started, right, Ron? It started with Photoshop. And
That's how Warren started. But the Masters of PixInsight thing has always been focused on PixInsight, but we did bring the IP for AP stuff, image processing for astrophotography. That covered Photoshop, Maxim DL, AstroArt, and some other things. And they're kind of legacy products from my point of view, but for the subscribers, those were still really valuable. So we didn't get rid of them.
yeah, so I mean, I love it. I use both of them. I go to all of the shows. The next show for Masters of PixInsight is in July. And what is it? It's WBPP Deep Dive, right?
Yeah, deep dive into weighted batch pre-processing. So there's been a lot of changes in weighted batch pre-processing. It seems to keep evolving. And if you don't have good masters, you can't really do anything in terms of processing.
Yep.
So yeah, so we thought we would do a full 2-hour session just on weighted batch pre-processing, one-shot color and mono, raw files and masters, more than one camera or just one camera, really do a deep dive.
I'm
So
psyched for that.
So there'll be a lot of good stuff for beginners, but even if you've got some experience, we'll maybe peel a few more layers of the onion for you.
Oh, great. So we could all start crying a little bit quicker. So
Yeah. Sad, so sad.
yeah, it's so sad. But it's what? Hey, listen, what good is a nail if you don't know how to use a hammer? So I mean,
Absolutely right.
so
Absolutely right.
it's definitely if PixInsight is more and more becoming the industry standard just for the sole fact that they keep on updating it frequently, and it's really a great tool for astrophotography pre and post processing. So if you haven't gotten it, go get the trial, get the free download, and if you like it, it's worth every penny. If you're going to spend all this money on a rig, telescope, camera, filters, filter wheel, you may as well drop the $300 for the program. So it's definitely worth it. But
Definitely. Agreed.
all right, so here we go. Let's put on the Wheel of Fortune. This wheel I got to give Sean Nielsen credit for the Sean Nielsen Wheel of Fortune here. He actually pointed me to the wheelofnames.com, and this is what I use. So I'm sure you've seen this around. It makes it a lot easier. And then actually Masters of Pix Insight is using it now too, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
We've been using it for a long time.
Yeah. So I remember for the beginning days where he was picking things out of the hat. He was doing one of the, grabbing names out of a hat. So, but anyway, here we go. So again, this is for a 1-year subscription to IP. Whoa, IP for AP. There we go. Here we go. And we got 54 people here. So let's see who wins. No way. Andrus, I think you already have one. I'm 99% sure he won one already. So I'm gonna do a he's in a different time zone. So I am gonna spin a mulligan here on this one. And let's see. This is a second chance winner. Here we go. In case Andrus is gonna kick that back, I think. So oh, my buddy Eddie, who I just met for the first time in Cherry Springs, who's been a friend of mine for 5 years, never met face to face, wins the 1-year subscription to IP for AP if Andrus kicks it back. So I'm 99% sure he's going to kick it back. But so Eddie, congratulations and awesome. So nice job. So Eddie, you'll be getting an email from me with a copy to Pete Proul, and Pete will give you all the information on how to redeem and sign up for all the wonderful tools that IP for AP has to offer. So there we go for that. Nice job. Really cool. And Pete left us for a minute, but yeah. So Eddie, congratulations. And let's see. What do we got coming up? Our next couple of guests, we have David Geeson from Photonic Cleaning Technologies, and that's going to be on the 29th. And then we got Russell Croman from Russell Croman Astrophotography coming on July 8th. And right after that, which is I believe, I could be wrong, don't quote me on this, I think the Wednesday after that is the Eagle 4 giveaway. So I believe it's the 13th or the 18th. Look at the website, www.astroworld.com, to get the date. But it's like the second Wednesday, I think, of July. So it's going to be a happy July, 4th of July, happy Independence Day, whatever you want to call it, little present for somebody. It's going to be pretty sweet. And that's going to be shipped directly, I believe, from Prima Luce USA in California. So that's going to be pretty cool. And don't forget also, in 2 days, we have our first Optolong giveaway to some lucky winner. No, you don't get this whole box, but whatever is the first. I think the first thing that we're giving away, if you give me a second, is the 5 filter 1 1/4 LRGB set. If you give me 1 second, I'll just check the website. What's going out first? So the first raffle for Optolong, as my website slowly loads, is where is it? Optolong. Where's Optolong? There it is. Oh, the 2-inch the 1 1/4 planetary filter set, which includes the IR cut and the IR pass. So that's going to go out this Friday. So that's going to be kind of cool. So sign up for that if you haven't signed up. Right now we have, for the Optolong drawing, we have 56 entries right now. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, right now, of course, the Eagle is #1 right now with 82 entries. So you have a 1 in 82 chance of winning a $2,500 computer. So it's gonna be pretty cool.
Cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I will get that email out to Mr. Eddie, and Eddie subsequently made me an offer for this. One of the things that's coming out of my closet of death.
Ooh.
Sold this to my buddy Eddie in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania. So this is going out to him tomorrow. So yes, and it does have the rings. I'm gonna find you a dovetail. I'll give you a little like 6-inch dovetail for it. I found one. So
Perfect.
yeah. So getting messages. Let's see. Nobody. Nothing else in the chat. All right. Let's see. Everyone's talking. Everyone's saying congratulations, Eddie. Congrats. Eagle giveaway. Oh my God, that's Tom Bramwell. We got somebody I think in Scotland that's in the chat. Oh no, somebody's going to Scotland. Okay.
Nice.
There you go. Nice. All right. And we're coming up on 2 hours, Mr. Ron.
Wow.
Yeah, it goes quick when you go off the rails.
That's all right. I don't mind going off the rails.
What chat
It's
you
a fun
watching?
chat. I like coming on this show.
Oh no, it's very laid back. It's very, you know how it is. You know how we roll.
Yeah.
You know, and we appreciate you keep coming back because we love having you. I mean, you know, I've known you for a couple of years now, taking a bunch of lessons from you, and going
Yeah,
up to.
I've yanked you out of bed a few early Saturday mornings.
Oh yeah, 9 a.m. on a Sunday, drinking coffee. I'm like, oh my God, I thank God I could record this stuff because I have no idea what you're talking about. You know, so I got to go back and look at it again. I still, to this day, two of the best pictures of mine that we have processed together is my Heart Nebula, which was the first one we did together. That one was 30 or 26 hours worth of narrowband data from Portal 8. So I mean, and it came out awesome. And the Pelican Nebula that we did together. I'm telling you, between you, the rest of the Masters of Pixel Insight, and I got to throw a shout out to Sean Nielsen as well. Helping me out personally, and the lessons and the tutorials and online or live, it doesn't matter. You guys do a great service to the astrophotography community, and it's well received. And if you haven't checked out any of the Masters of Pixel Insight stuff, or IP for AP, or even Visible Dark, go check it out because they are great tools for you to use. And you know, some of them are free. Some of them are $35, and some of them are more. But but just go check them out.
Well, let me tell you the pricing scheme. So it's $35 for each unique workshop. Many of the workshops are repeated every year. If you've paid for it once, you can come for free forever. If you've ever purchased any workshop from us, then you're eligible to join us for the Quick Tips workshops, which are free. And every workshop we do is recorded so that you can access it afterwards, unlimited times. We also give you the PixInsight project and the icons. The icons are really, really gold, I think.
Yeah, they are.
And in terms of the types of workshops, there's really two. There's workshops that are in a series. So we have 5-part beginner series and then a 4-part intermediate series. But then we also have the photons to photos like we did last night.
Yep.
Where either Warren and I will process a picture from start to end, and don't always know what we're what we're doing there as we start. you don't know where you're going to end up necessarily. So those are always kind of exciting. And we bring in guests sometimes for the quick tips, like we brought in Russ Croman. So it's a lot of fun.
No, it is.
Then
And
we've got, you know, the whole IP for AP subscription thing, where you can access short chunks on specific topics.
yeah.
So hopefully check it out.
And Ernie had a question. It said, Ron, do you have a tutorial on processing a dual narrowband filter from soup to nuts?
Yes. Do I have a I don't have one on processing a dual band tutorial from soup to nuts. But if you look on my website and you look for the Veil Nebula, or you look for the Heart Nebula, Heart and Soul, that's probably the best one. You'll find my image, and all my images have a complete processing workflow, and that was done with an L-enhanced filter, which is a dual band nebula filter. It was done with a one-shot color. So search for Heart and Soul on my website. And Sean, make sure that that search function is working, would you please, buddy? But anyway, if you look for the Heart and Soul, it gives the full workflow for that setup.
That's awesome. And yeah, that's all dual narrowband stuff. So that will definitely help you on your way. And you know what? It's and Sean just said, LOL, crap. So I guess he's on it. Stupid search button.
No, that's funny.
Oh man, search buttons are the worst.
Oh well, you know what? That's why you got to have friends that know stuff you don't know.
I agree. I'm still trying to figure out how to reset the times on the pictures of the week, because these WordPress plugins are driving me nuts.
Are they?
Yeah, I can't find one that works the way I want it to work. I've spent probably about $300 on plugins just for the picture of the week thing, just to find the one that works. And I got one that works, but I just got to refresh it right before every. I got to remember to refresh the votes right when it switches to the next one, so
Yeah.
it doesn't just automatically reset. It's kind of annoying, but I don't know. It works for now.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. I really thought you were gonna say resetting the time on a VCR. Yeah, that blinking 12, that drives me nuts, I'm telling you. But all right. Well, I guess we'll just do a little final thoughts. You know, Mr. Pete, you got a final thought for us?
I think it's in overtime right now, 2-2. So it's going to be interesting. So
That doesn't count as a final thought.
But that is my final thought.
Your final thought is about hockey. Of course it is.
As I said, I'd live for the playoffs. Just give me 16 games and I'm happy. And after that, you can have your basketball, football. I don't care. Just give me playoff hockey.
That's funny.
Hey, Ron, final thought from Mr. Ron?
Just how great it's to be part of this community. I've made some great friends in this community. I love doing these chats, and you know, often I'm really kind of under the gun to do things right and do things all the time. It's nice to just sit back and shoot the poo here.
Yeah, and you know what? You guys, all of yous, are always welcome to come hang out whenever you want. You want to plug Masters of Pixel Insight? You just want to hang out? You want to talk about something new? You're more than welcome anytime. All of our members love seeing you guys on the show. You, Warren, Pete. I mean, you know, you guys are a lot of fun to have on. So you're more than welcome to come back.
Anytime.
All right. Well, that being said, that will conclude us tonight at 11 o'clock. And thank you again, Ron, for coming and hanging out with us and spending your imaging time with us. I know he's probably going back and forth on his computer on Nina, trying to make sure everything's running right. But
No, I don't need to. It's all running.
oh, nice.
Everything's going just fine.
Well, I hope the next
you
3 days work out, or 3 nights work out for you, and have
Yeah, I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know for sure.
absolutely, absolutely. And don't forget, this Friday night we have the first Optalong giveaway of the first. Let's see. So that's going to be these guys here. I'll pull them out, and they're actually strapped. Oh, they're nice. I didn't even know they were strapped. They have a nice little strap here that says Optalong Planetary Filters Kit, and it's the UVIR cut RGB and the IR pass, all 1¼ inch. So that's going to be going out to a lucky winner on Fridays. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you sign up for that, or else you're going to be out of luck for all the rest of the Optalong stuff. So make sure you sign up. Oh, I got a rain alarm about 13 miles away. I have thunder. That's great. But so
just don't send me any rain.
no, it's no, it's going south. Don't worry, you're fine. And Redbubble, we just made a sale on Redbubble. So for those of you that don't know about a Redbubble site, feel free to join us on Redbubble. You get AstroWorld stickers, T-shirts, hats, whatever. You get that if you go to astroworldweb.com, you go to the AstroWorld shop, it'll send you right there. And somebody just bought something. I'm not sure what happened, but and we are at the point now. And we're going to be doing this probably. I'm going to wait a little bit longer because we don't have enough clubs yet. We only have 3 people that responded with club names. So the deal that I made with the membership was that with the Redbubble store, once we make 10% of the profits go to a random club. Once we make $100 in the 10% bracket, we will send a $100 donation to a random astronomy club out of the membership. So if you want your club to be involved in a chance to win that $100 gift from AstroWorld, please email me directly so I could throw you on the wheel so we could choose your club and make sure that they have a chance of winning that donation. So we are at the point now to make our first $100 donation to a random club, wherever. It could be anywhere in the world, to be honest with you, whoever wants to decide. But email me directly at dan@astroworldweb.com with the name of your club so we could get you on the wheel. So let's see what else. And that's about it for me. That's my last final thought. I think that's it. But everybody, have a good night. Please be safe. Go outside, go image if you got lovely skies. And if you don't have lovely skies, go to either AstroWorld and watch some old videos, or go to Masters of Pix Insight and get a tutorial. So there you go. So everybody, have a good night. Thank you for hanging out with us. And as always, remember to keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see you Friday for the Optalong giveaway. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care. Bye.